Hello, hello, hello. We are live once again. This is Tuesday, March the 3rd, 2026. This is episode number 96 of Accelerating Your Journey. My name is Benny Ferguson, and this is a consciousness ascending presentation. We are excited to be here. We're thankful for each of you who will be here, who are here to support us in the creation of this interaction. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recording and are allowing us to be of support in that manner. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so that you're, alerted when we upload new content. There's tons of content on this channel. So that you're alerted when we go live again. We'll be live all of this week at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check the description. Check the description for first our free reality shift checklist. If you're looking to make a shift in any experience or make a shift in yourself so that you are more in alignment with the truth of you and source, first of all, and then more in alignment with any experience that you're desiring to create, the reality shift checklist will take you to the foundation of your being, which is where you need to be playing and practicing if you intend to make any shifts or changes in your expression and they be consistent. You need to be playing and practicing at your core, at your foundation. And the reality shift checklist will take you there. 4 simple shifts. And there's also where you will receive access to the video trainings that go with each shift to really support the solidifying of those ideas. Also, you will find the link to our private community, the Ascension Accelerator, which is the core offering. Our core offering is the private community where you will find everything that you need. Everything that you need to accelerate the process. We have a number of modules there that build out the understanding of your foundation, that which you are being at the moment, why you are creating what you are creating, and how to begin making the shifts. What you will find is the community that's necessary, the level of interaction potential for you that is necessary, the consistent availability of support that is necessary to combat the constant barrage of information and material that is coming in through your physical senses. You have to have access to that which is elevating to you, in contrast to that which has been the norm, if you truly desire to make the shifts necessary. Hello, Tasha. Welcome. Welcome. But again, everything that you need, you will find in the accelerator when you are ready to make this play and practice the priority. When you are ready to begin shrinking the time frame of you becoming and expressing from the truth of you in source. You can access that now. You can access that state of being. You can access that vibrational state now. The challenge is being able to be that consistently because of your conditioning, because of your programming. And you have to have certain things in place in order to speed up the process and understand all of the whys of the process. Again, everything that you need, you will find there. Hello, everyone. So again, we're thankful for each of you being here. We're thankful again for those of you who have found this recording. Today's topic is why you should stand in your storms. Being at peace with your trauma catapults your growth. Being at peace with your trauma catapults your growth and expansion. Why you should be at peace with your storms. Give us just a moment. We will edit this part out and then we will start. conscious creators. Your storms, that which you call challenges, that which you call pain, that which you have called suffering that has occurred in your life, that which you are still dealing with, the dramas that you are still holding on to, that you are still dealing with internally, that have been there since you were a child. Relationship challenges, damage, emotional, that occurred within the family or outside of the family. These ideas you will carry for a lifetime unless you make the necessary adjustments, unless you resolve the negative tone around the ideas, the blame, the guilt, the shame, all of these things around the experience, for they were only experiences. And if they occurred when you were of young age, they were experiences that you chose. We understand that is difficult to fathom at the moment, can be. Difficult to accept, can be. But you have to understand the big picture, the broader picture of you, not of us, not of anyone else, but of you, that you exist beyond the body, that you exist beyond the mind, that these are really vessels that you're using, instruments that you're using at this moment for a short period of time. And when you understand that you are broader, you are grander, you are more than this single experience, and that these experiences are nothing but experiences, allowing you to expand in ways that you intended, then your perspective changes. Not only your perspective around these single events, the traumatic events that we're speaking of that are binding you vibrationally, but all experience. It changes your perspective. It changes your interpretation. And when you begin to see how you can grow from one, you can begin to see how you can grow from them all. And you can begin to see how your perspective and your interpretation allows you to maintain a higher level of vibrational expression. When you really begin to understand, you also begin to gain strength over your mental and emotional states. You begin to see how you can choose. You begin to see how they are not the cause of how you feel. You can choose how you feel. Experience is only experience unless there is something already there to be triggered. And when you begin to cull out all of those low vibrational triggers, you begin to see that it's possible to be consistent in your vibrational expression no matter what's happening outside of you. And when you are consistent, you begin to see and you begin to find the diamonds, the gold in experience that everyone else calls negative, that everyone else calls a challenge. You begin to find the gifts that are there for you, the value in the experience. So let's talk about how to deal, how to play and practice. Let's keep it high vibration, high frequency in our language. Let's begin to talk about how to play with those traumas. We understand that you haven't been playing with them. We understand that when you think a thought about that thing that happened, it begins to make you bubble. It begins to make you fume. We know that when you think a thought or you see something that reminds you of that happening, that fear begins to develop inside of your gut the same way that it did all of those years ago. Your heart begins to beat quickly the same way it did all of those years ago. We understand that. That's the body reacting to the idea. That's the conditioning that that event had on you with, it has certain emotions tied to it. and your body expresses itself based on those emotions in a specific way. If you look at it objectively, when you think about that event, the same feelings rise every time. And those feelings are located in a specific place in your body every time. Because the emotion is specific to certain places, certain feelings, guilt, shame, fear. These different ideas show up in specific places in the body, specific locations. When you begin to look, when you begin to zero in and begin to master that which is the mind, that which you call the mind, that which you call the body, you begin to see how ideas show up in specific places. Certain emotional states, certain feelings show up in certain places in the body based on the idea and the type of vibration, the type of idea connected to that energy. Maybe you feel weight on your shoulders. Maybe you feel a pain over your heart. Maybe it's off center. Maybe it's down just a little bit. Maybe it's in your gut. Specific places. So, when we're talking about trauma, when we're talking about this level of pain, this type of drama that occurred that you're still carrying 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, the key to interacting with that type of idea that has strong, low vibrational emotion attached to it is to be in a separate frequency. Probably up to this point, when you engage, when you are reminded, when you are triggered to those types of events, you are immediately in the same frequency as the event. You are immediately in the same vibration as the event. If you intend to transform these ideas, if you intend to learn what is there for you from these ideas so that you can grow and expand from them, you want to interact with these ideas in a higher frequency. So how do you do that? Very simple. The challenge is that you didn't know this before now, potentially. Very simple. All you want to do is to get yourself into a higher frequency state. Whatever that means to you. You can sing a favorite song. You can remember a favorite vacation spot. You can remember a outing with friends where you had a fantastic time. Whatever it is that gets you in a high frequency, gets you in a high feeling state, makes you feel really, really good. Right? Gets you into excitement. And then when you know that you are in that feeling state, right, that causes you to smile, causes you to feel good, causes you to warm up. When you know you're in that state, then in your meditation, then ask your inner being to bring all that's connected to that idea and bring it in front of you. Not connected to it, but bring it in front of you so that you can look at it. You're already in a higher vibrational state than the event, than the trauma. So you're separate from it vibrationally. And when in your language you ask your inner being to present it to you out in front of you, this is also the idea of space between you and that event so that you're not connected to it vibrationally. And now you can observe it. You can observe the people. You can observe the event. You can observe yourself in the event and ask, what is there for me to learn, to grow, to expand from? And while you're in that higher frequency state, float around it and see what you see, what information. You're looking for information. Float around it and see what information is there for you. Float over top of it, under it, see what information is there for you. And once you do that, go inside of it to the center of the experience and see what is there for you. We're talking about growing beyond your traumas, releasing the emotional, the vibrational ties and binds that it has on you and has had on you for years. Benny had events that happened to him pre-elementary school that he remembers. If you're familiar with the idea of an inner child, each of you have an inner child potential that was broken apart from the whole, that is a piece of you that may be in pain as a result of trauma. Benny's inner child was very, very angry, crying as a result of events that happened 40, 50 years ago. And if you don't address these ideas, they will continue to resonate powerfully below the surface, causing you to experience similar experiences and continue to have those same feelings reoccurring over and over again. Have you noticed that how you felt in those traumatic events, in those dramatic events, when you felt that high fear, when you felt that level of disrespect, when you felt like a victim and helpless, have you noticed that experiences that cause you to feel that way have continued to occur over your lifetime? The faces have changed. The locations have changed. But how the experience caused you to feel has remained constant. And it's because this idea is lodged inside of your mind and inside of your body. We talked about where different feelings show up in the body. The idea is lodged within your being, within your mind and body, and it's resonating that same feeling, that same vibration, whether you realize it or not. And that's why you continue to have experiences that cause you to feel that same way. Not the same people. It could be similar, same person. You could be triggered to that feeling every time you see that person. But oftentimes the faces change, the location changes, but you're left feeling the same way as the first time you had the experience. And that's because the experience lodged itself as an idea with that emotion inside of your mind and body. So when you have floated around it and you have gone inside of it and you have gleaned all of the information that's there for you from that perspective, from the perspective of that frequency that you placed yourself in before you began the process and the play, and you've garnered all of the information from it. When you do that, you will begin to see how you can grow, why you will grow from the experience. You have to do it in order to see it. And then once you have gleaned all the information from it, then you take that same energy and you shine that energy into that traumatic event and all of the people and all of the things associated with it, and you allow it to dissolve. You notice any changes or shifts that occur in the people. They may speak to you. They may say they're sorry. You may see that they are just acting out the same type of things that happened to them. But because they were unconscious, just like you are unconscious or were unconscious, they had no power over being different. But because you are here now, because you are walking on this journey of enlightenment, you have come to the point to where you are drawing in the information of how to address those traumas to free yourself of those vibrational binds. And if you're here now listening to this interaction, that's exactly why you're here. You have aligned yourself with a how to address the traumas in your life. So you have shined the light. You have noticed any changes that occurred to anyone or anything that was a participant, a collaborative component in that experience. And you've noticed the information that they have shared with you. All of this is in your meditation. Now, once you know that's complete, now you flood that same light into that experience and completely dissolve it. That lets your inner being know that you are choosing at this moment to release it. And once you have released it, once it has dissolved, once it has disappeared because of the light you have shined through it, the next step is to envision in your meditation, image, or ask your inner being, who am I now that is free of this idea? Who am I now that is free of this trauma? And then you allow your inner being to show you in your meditation, on the screen of your imagination, who you are now that is free of that idea. Because the person you have been up until this point has been the person you have been with that trauma as a part of you, clouding your perception, clouding your interpretation of life events, clouding your ability to be authentic and unique, clouding your ability to be loving. So when you have the image of who you are, free of the trauma, free of the drama, free of the event, now you want to allow that vision into you and allow it to fully integrate and assimilate itself so that you can feel the feeling of the you that is free of that trauma. And then you can take and look out into your future, into the events of tomorrow, and notice how you're different than you were yesterday as a result of being free of that specific trauma. And then you play and practice to be that consistently, to be that person consistently, consciously, until you don't have to. Most important is how that you feels, because the information, the wisdom, the language, the behaviors, the actions are all in the feeling. They're all in the feeling. That's why it's so important to know and manage your vibration, because everything that you need is in the energy. It's not necessary to try to zero in on thoughts. It's not necessary to try to zero in on ideas, although we do explain that addressing your mental framework is a key part of accelerating the process of your growth and expansion on this journey of enlightenment. But the truth is that your vibration is the first key, because all of the information, the person that you intend to be, is in the frequency. Just as the entire apple tree is in the single seed. But if you're having a experience, a human experience, you have traumas. You have drama, ideas, low vibrational, with powerful emotion lodged in your being. It was sown there by maybe an event that happened to you, or maybe you're observing of events. As a child, you don't know to consciously choose to not allow that material into your being, to activate your inner creative process. And so many things were impressed and implied into your being. These ideas must be transformed. These ideas, as they come to the surface, must be released. And not just released, you want to glean the information and grow from them. That's where the power is amplified. When you grow from and beyond your traumas, you grow from and beyond your pain, you grow from and beyond your challenges. The stacking of that knowledge, the stacking of the strength that comes from that expansion is where the power comes from. Your individual power. That's what you need to know. So, we're thankful again for those of you who have supported us in the creation of this interaction, and you did. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recording and watched it to this point, been with us to this point, and allowed us to be of support in that manner. If you were inspired to an idea, if you have a question or a comment, we will take time now for you to place those in the chat mechanism, and we will take a few moments to discuss those. Thank you. Okay, first of all, hello everyone, and hello Madeline. Hello Catherine. Awesome, awesome. Madeline says, days ago I had a dream with a brand new key. The key was in its packaging. I have been asked to vacate the property I'm currently renting. The dream came at an appropriate time. What's the meaning? So, if you look at your dream as a metaphor, which it is most often, unless you have the ability to have premonition to future events and you know that you have that, most often your dreams are metaphors. And it sounds like, feels like, the key is a metaphor to being open to possibility, being open to the next. Sounds like, Madeline, that you are already in tune with events, and this is probably not the first time that you have had synchronistic information come to you based on experience that you didn't know was unfolding. The trick in this manner, as you have been given information as to happenings of experience, is to be open, to be at peace, to begin to intend, right? To begin to intend in the highest for this shift that is occurring. For in the next moment, your next property can be revealed. If you are in alignment with that next, right? You don't have to answer in the chat, but we would question, if it wasn't a shock, or if it was a shock, were you able to manage your energy in the choice? Were you able to manage yourself and say, okay, this is happening. What's next for me? What do I intend to be next for me? What is my next property? What does my next living residence look like? And begin to fathom that in the highest. Begin to see yourself there, interacting with the environment, interacting with the feel and flow of the environment, interacting with all of the particles of the environment. And the more in tune you are with your next, the more aligned you are with your next, the quicker it will reveal itself. Or the pieces will begin to reveal itself. You'll come in contact with conversations. People will begin to offer suggestions. You'll begin to hear about residents or properties that are available within your price range, within excellent location of that which you are intending to be close to. All of the things will begin to reveal themselves through alignment. So our suggestion is to, as fast as you can, begin to get in alignment with your intended next. and then watch for the unfolding to occur. We hope that makes sense. Thank you for the question. Awesome. Anyone else? Madeline will make one more offering with that. In your meditation, when you are entertaining your next, when you're entertaining your next, be with it. Be with it long enough to forget that you are in meditation. Be with it long enough to forget that you are entertaining an idea. That's key. That's key, to be with it long enough to forget that you are doing something. Be with it long enough to where you forget and you actually feel like you're there in the experience. That's key. That's key. Anyone else? Awesome. 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 So, again, we are thankful. We are grateful for each of you who have supported the creation of this interaction. We have gleaned and drawn from your energies to answer questions that you may or may not have known that you had. We're thankful for those of you who found this recording once again, allowing us to be of support in that manner. Be sure to check the description. Connect with us so that you know of future offerings, both on and off of this platform, that are coming. We're excited to be of support. We love you very, very much. And that love has no beginning and it has no end. We're thankful for each of you. And if you are inspired, we will be back tomorrow at the same time. Again, we love you and we will talk to you soon.